the mistake that a lot of salespeople make is that they think their job is to only sell to the ready, willing, and able buyers. But what we're trying to prove, and we have proven through our programs, is that by focusing on the categories and where the customer is in the customer journey, and by resolving one category before you resolve the next, then you can actually make them ready, willing, and able. You can actually speed up time for them, which is what a salesperson's, of course, supposed to do. So that's kind of one big takeaway we got to get from today. And then the second thing, of course, we talked about was this idea of what's the question that we need to determine, or we need to ask to figure out what category they're in. And then so now let's go down the path of now that we've asked the question. So what do we do next?
Good. Okay, so we've got to set an agenda. If it's category 1, have you definitely decided to leave what you currently are doing? And they say no. We say, great. So let's just see. Let's spend some time today and let's just make it our outcome frame to figure out whether it makes sense for you to leave what you currently have. And then we have your special thing on there. I'm not asking you again to move forward. Just saying we're going to do it that way. Now, if they say, yeah, I'm definitely not going back. I mean, this thing's a joke. I'm not doing this anymore. And it's yes. Well, we don't know what category they're in. So they could be category 2, which means they're overwhelmed. They could be category 3. And in category 2, right, we have little checkpoints along the way. So when we're looking at, moving our home, the next questions are, well, have you definitely decided on this area, this state? Have you definitely decided on a new home versus a resale home? Have you definitely decided on this part of town or this area? And so we're going to narrow it down that way and wait until we hear a no. And then they just told us the next decision that they need help with. They've let us know because we keep asking questions in order to find that no. And then we just say, great. So you don't know whether a new home or resale home is better for you? Let's spend some time talking about that and figure out which is the better option for you. You don't know whether you'd rather live in Florida or Arizona? Let's spend some time talking about the pros and cons of both and figure out, are you more of a Florida person or are you more of an Arizona person? Let's figure that out. So wherever they say no, if there are no no's and they're truly a category 3, they're like, Mary, I am buying a house today. And it's either from you or it's over here from this person. Great. Let's figure out if you're one of us or if you're one of them. Either way, today's going to be a great day. You're going to have a new home. So congratulations. Let's just figure out where that home's going to be.
It's great. Okay. So then they're going to obviously apply these different protocols, which is important. And so what's the mistake? I want to make sure everyone's clear on what the mistake is. So what's the mistake that the salesperson makes if they don't categorize the buyer? What's the pitfall? Like, what ends up happening?
Oh, I don't even have to talk about this for other salespeople. I'll just talk about this for myself. Personally, when I look at all the money that I've lost, is if I don't do it, then I get excited, right? As a salesperson, man, I love the juice of making a sale. I love the high of that and the fun. And so I lose my mapping system and I get excited and I move too quickly and I now am not serving the person in front of me because I'm talking about, the next steps of moving forward when they're not there yet. And then what happens is a couple of options happen. One is they do the thing where they're like, I'm really tired. They zone out. I need to go eat, and they leave the appointment with me. They leave the meeting with me, and they get off the phone to go do whatever their next thing is. And then I don't hear from them anymore because when we don't hear from them, we weren't giving them value. And we'll know we weren't giving them, but I'm like, I was so good. Like I was telling them really good stuff. I was funny. Like what's happening? No, what's happened is that I was missing the mark. I wasn't meeting them where they are. So that's done. So they ghost me at that point. The other is sometimes you're so good that day they buy from you. And usually what I'll see is if they buy from you, but they jumped ahead and they didn't really go through all of the process and all of the soul searching and figuring out that they need to do to move forward, well, that's when they cancel on you. And they cancel early. And all of a sudden you're like, why are all these people canceling? What's going on? And they bought too quickly. They didn't. So now they purchase, but everything's not resolved. So now they're left on their own to try to resolve it. which we never want to do. And it just becomes overwhelming again, and it's just easier just to back away.
Yeah, it becomes like a to-do list for them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Nobody wants more work.
No one wants more work.